In this video, I want to talk to you about visiting wedding venues beforehand. Now, I've only ever done one and I will not do it again. And I'm going to tell you why. People only get married once, or they at least get married like once for the first time. So they don't really know what to do. So they go on these blogs on the internet and they say 10 questions to ask your wedding photographer. And typically one of these questions will be, will you meet us at the wedding venue beforehand, before our big day, so then we can go through photo locations with you? And this is a very bad idea. Instead of the normal conversation which would be flowing during, say, an engagement session, it would be, this is a nice tree. This is a nice fireplace. I want a photo here and there. And then obviously you haven't really set expectations, because on the day, there could be so many things which would go wrong. Imagine you've started up your wedding photography career and you've got 40 weddings booked for next year. You're absolutely smashing it. And then the dreaded emails start about venue visits. Imagine if a quarter of them all want you to visit the venue beforehand. And because if you're new to the business, you think, yes, of course, I will meet you, no problem, that will be great. And you're thinking, oh yeah, I can get a vibe with a couple and see what they're like. But as photographers, we know the best way to meet a couple will be on the engagement session beforehand. And we can get the vibe and then we can see how they react with the camera, because obviously people don't like being posed and we know there is a line and we don't want to cross it. But then we can get a bit of a friendship going, relationship going in the engagement session. And then in the wedding, they'll be a bit more comfortable with the camera. So a quarter of the weddings who want venue visits are 10. So there's 10 weddings. And then if you imagine all the travel times and you say you're going to meet them in the morning, that's 10 mornings of your year. And it might not seem a lot, but 10 mornings is typically a 5-day working week. As photographers, we don't really count our working hours per week. But if we look at any other job, say an accountant, a lawyer, a shop worker, they typically work 5-day weeks. So we have automatically lost 5 days of our year. So can you imagine someone with a proper job, like sacrificing a week's holiday for no reason? So that seems unthinkable. But in the world of wedding photography, we kind of always want to go further for our clients. And then obviously if you give one client a little favor, then you have to give another client a little favor, and all these little favors mount up. And then before you know it, you have not got any free time whatsoever. So I'm a firm believer in that the wedding venue doesn't particularly matter. Now, obviously light dictates color, and if you're getting married in a barn, which is no natural light, then your photos are going to look totally different than they would through like a forest ceremony or an outdoors by a lake. But on the wedding day, I never regret not visiting beforehand, because of, unless it's Buckingham Palace or a grand castle in the middle of nowhere and you have no idea what's about and you want to make the most of it, then yeah, by all means, go and visit that venue beforehand. But if you're in a typical wedding venue, then we can just scout around for 5 minutes beforehand, get there nice and early, because we always aim to get to weddings early. And instead of sitting in the car, we'll have a little mooch about. So personally, I don't like turning up to a wedding day with a plan. Now, obviously, if like 8, 10, 12 months beforehand, I visit that wedding venue, that weather might be totally different than on the wedding day. And then you get to the wedding day, you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to shoot this amazing group photo in front of the staircase and stuff. And then they'll be decorating. Or that you'll want to go outside in this nice garden and all these amazing flowers are there, and then it's just pouring out rain. And then you kind of like struggle with, oh my God, what am I going to do now? But if you turn up to a wedding without a plan, then you're actually earning your wage, because of wedding photographers, we get paid because we've learned to adapt, and in different environments, we can shoot anywhere. But back to venue visits, when you're walking around a venue, it can be shifting the focus away to the building than the couples. If you go to a venue meet and you meet the couple in the car park beforehand, you go, hey, nice to meet you and stuff. And then the conversation will literally be about the wedding and the wedding day and what they've got envisioned. And then you're coming up with plans in your mind, and it will be hard to stay fresh on the day. Also, you won't actually learn that much about the couple. When I meet my couples for the first time, I really want to understand who they are as people and why they love each other and what they stand for in general. Really recommend selling engagement sessions. I don't really do many of them now, but when I did, they were really fun, and you actually get a really good vibe from the couple. And then when they see the photos, they're like relieved, you know, I've put the right photographer, he's made me at ease, and I'm really looking forward to the wedding day. I really recommend asking every single couple who book you why they chose that wedding venue. Because obviously if there is an area in that wedding venue which is special to them, maybe they even got engaged there. That's probably why people often inquire about venue visits, because they just want to show you something. And obviously if you know about that before the wedding day, then that'd be beneficial. Just to recap, I do believe meeting your clients before their wedding day and building a relationship, nurturing that relationship way past their wedding day in fact, is really, really good, and it will really help you in the long run. I just don't think a venue visit will do that for you.